Hello there, welcome to Expired Tea, where we talk about the drama going on in the influencer community as well as the entertainment space. I give my opinion and I go about my day. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you enjoy my commentary, but without further ado, let's get into today's video. The manufacture date / expose date of this disgusting behavior by a multi-million-dollar company and the CEO is sometime around September 8th, 2021, and the expiration date, i.e. the day we're going to talk about the topic, not necessarily when the topic is going to be resolved, is September 12th, 2021. For anybody who clicked this video, I am under the impression that you know who Brandy Melville is, what the company stands for, what the controversies are in regards to their sizing or lack thereof. There are so many videos made about this company and how exclusive it is, predominantly only marketing towards thin white women. But for those of you who don't know who Brandy Melville is and are just here because you are being so incredibly supportive of this channel, I'm going to give a brief rundown of what Wikipedia has to say about Brandy Melville. For those of you who don't know what Brandy Melville is, have never shopped there, don't have one in your shopping mall, so on and so forth, it's probably for the best and for your mental health. We're going to consult with Miss Wikipedia and see what she has to say about Miss Brandy. Its description is, Brandy Melville is a European clothing and fashion accessory brand who markets their products to young women. The company was established in Italy by Silvio Marson, but attracted most of its popularity in California. The brand name and logo was inspired by the fictional tale of two people. This is where it gets weird. Brandy, an American girl, repeating the word girl, and Melville, an English man, repeating the word man, who met in Rome and fell in love. Pause for dramatic effect. But that alone, to me, just the wording of that, American girl, not American woman, meaning a man, not a boy, just solidifies to me kind of like how and why all of this has transpired. It's not shocking to, well, it is, because, I mean, wow, but, you know, like, okay, if your Wikipedia page is insinuating what I think it's insinuating, that just doesn't sit right with me.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
And you could say all day that me correlating the origin story to what's going on right now is a bit of a stretch, but girl, I feel stiff. So I will be reaching all day because what this means to me is that from the root, this company is poisonous and that their only intention has ever been to prey on women that they deem attractive, and anyone else that they don't deem attractive is less than, and they don't want them, and they're not needed, and they're disposable. And I know that sounds harsh, but when we get into what we're about to get into with these leaked text messages and stuff, and the things that we are finding out about this company, I think that you will probably agree that they only cater and only care about women that they are physically attracted to. As a brand, I would think that you would want to be inclusive, not exclusive. But everything that we're about to talk about just proves that this is not about making money. It's about the exploitation of young girls and ultimately discriminating against anyone that they don't deem worthy enough to be exploited. It's just really gross. It's really gross. But let's get into the evidence that's being presented to us right now. I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance if it sounds like I'm reading off something or if I sound a little robotic, because I am reading off something. I read the Insider article as well as a couple other articles, and I just want to read from my notes so I don't drift in one direction or another, get on a tangent, and then leave something out that's really important. So I just wanted to say that before we talk about these leaked messages. So it's said that there's about 30 employees who have come out to bring attention to the toxicity within the company's everyday work practices, but one of the key players in this is a man named Stefan Marson, which is Salvio? I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. The guy we previously mentioned, it's his son, and Stefan is also a co-founder of the brand. But it's also important to note that there are multiple executives and employees involved in this scandal. But just so we don't get confused and lost in the sauce, I'm not going to bring up a bunch of other names, but I do think it's important to note that it's not just the president, CEO, founder, and co founder. It is multiple people who are engaging in this kind of toxic, gross behavior. So, in these private text messages, the executives of Brandy Melville are expressing a lot of racism, sexism, and anti Semitism. The discrimination comes directly from the top, according to former employees, claiming that the CEO, Stefan Marson, demanded the sales associates must be young, pretty, and white. A quote from one of the former senior VPs, Lucia Rotondo, they claim if she was black, if she was fat, he did not want them in the store. It is also said that all of the young girls who worked in the 94 Brandy Melville locations were required to send in full body photos to executives daily. This practice was known as staff style. It's also said that if young women didn't meet Marson's requirements, he would demand they be fired. It's also noted that if he felt there were too many women of color working in one location, he would ask for them to be replaced with a white woman, according to Rotondo. Rotondo and another employee in Canada have filed 2 separate lawsuits claiming that they were fired after refusing to fire employees based on ethnicity or appearance. There's also a claim from the flagship store in New York that executives would work in an elevated area where they could watch shoppers. When they would see someone that they thought fit the mold, they would press a button which set off a light, prompting the cashier to request a photo of the girl and try to recruit her. There are also claims that the floor employees' pay was often solely based on their outer appearance. There are also claims against Brandy Melville that people of color were regulated to working in storerooms and night shift, which is also a familiar theme to older popular teen brands like Abercrombie and Hollister. There are many videos here on YouTube of people telling their stories and how they were treated while working in those retail stores. Just as a side note, this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. Still doesn't make it right. It's also alleged that teens as young as 14 were asked to undress in front of male executives and try on new clothes. Also, that underage girls were taken out for drinks, and Marson's right-hand man, Jesse Longo, was accused several times of inappropriately touching the staff. There's also a claim from a former employee that she was essayed by a store manager at the apartment owned by the brand. And I don't know much about that, but apparently there is an apartment owned by the brand, which is weird that they, I don't know, let employees come and go, stay, hang out. I don't understand that. I just think that that's strange. It's also important to note that a franchise holder of one of the stores in Canada claims in a lawsuit that Marson told him directly that he didn't want to see black or overweight women wear his clothes because it would damage the brand's image. Again, not the first time we've seen this. We've seen it with Abercrombie and Hollister and even Victoria's Secret. I think it just really blows my mind in 2021 that this has been allowed to happen, that a brand that is so exclusive is allowed to franchise and open 94 stores and be this successful while being this hateful. It's just so disgusting and disheartening. So it's said that Marson and other executives also engaged in exchanging pornographic material, if you catch my drift, the mocking of black people and sharing memes related to Hitler and the Holocaust. And what we have so far of those conversations is 150 leaked screenshots, 24 of which feature Hitler in some form or fashion, and the other is photos or material mocking black people or are images of a sexual nature. I will go ahead and say that the screenshots that I'm going to show you You'll notice if you speak English that these are not in English. Again, this is an Italian owned company, and I did not feel the need to put the translations up. If you want to know exactly what was said, you can go look at the Insider article, but I assure you what was said was absolutely disgusting, and that's one reason why I just didn't feel the need to put that in this video. One current employee told Insider, quote, "People don't realize how corrupt this company is. It's a disgusting company, and the company needs to be shut down." Again, that is coming from a current employee. As of now, no one, including the CEO, executives, representatives, or even attorneys for Brandy Melville, have responded to requests for comments on any of this, which kind of leads me to believe that there won't be any real consequences for this brand if people don't boycott this brand. And that's just my opinion. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your time or money, but I fear that if people don't hold this brand accountable for their actions, that they'll continue to be allowed to make millions and millions of dollars whilst actively excluding more than half of the population. Well, more. That I don't want to put a percentage on it, but my God. Question that I want to pose to you if you're still watching and you have ever purchased anything from Brandy Melville, knowing what you know now, will you continue to support the brand? And if so, are you going to feel bad about it? You don't have to explain yourself in the comments below. I'm not your keeper. I'm not your mama. I'm just asking you that so you can really take an in-depth look as to where you stand and if you actually care about other people. I don't know. Because for me, listen, I know it's a little hypocritical. It is, because I've purchased things from fast fashion brands. I've bought things from Amazon and Walmart. I unintentionally gave money to a billionaire so he could go play in space. You know, we've all unintentionally supported brands that were toxic or had unsafe work environments or didn't pay living wages to their workers. We've all done that. A lot of times, though, I have to say that the reason why people continue to shop at these companies or fast fashion brands is because they too don't make a living wage, are living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, and this is all they can afford. I know that it's really all I can afford. I can't really afford to purchase things from small businesses all the time that are handmade and have taken a lot more time to make, so on and so forth. I just don't have the budget for it. So yeah, sometimes I do purchase things from fast fashion sites, but I have to say that I take some time and pride in going to thrift stores as much as I can to buy things that I kind of feel are back in style and that kind of thing. I'm going to throw some examples up of some things that I found in the thrift store today that I thought were very much on trend in regards to this basic IG girl style, an oversized sweater with a cute graphic on it, or a 90s graphic style on a t-shirt. Yes, it's a man's t-shirt and you could cut it up and make it more feminine, but I didn't feel the need to purchase any of these clothes, so that's just me explaining what I would do to it if I had purchased it. I cut out my face and I covered my tattoos because I haven't done a face reveal, and although, yes, I am a white blonde woman, I am not Brandy Melville's target audience. I'm not a teenager, and I'm not a size 0 or 2, so they don't want to be looking in my direction anyways. They don't care about me. But this is just my example that you can find similar styles anywhere. You can find dupes almost on any other fast fashion site that just so happens to be shitty, but just a little less shitty, if that makes sense. And also, I used to love Dolls Kill, and after the Black Lives Matter thing and what the founder had to say on line, I had to stop shopping there. I never bought another thing from that company after I found out what was said during that time and how insensitive it was. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, from time to time, I still scrolled on the site. I never purchased anything. If I saw anything that I really liked, I would look for a dupe, or a lot of times Dolls Kill would buy wholesale from other brands, and the brand name would be on the clothing item or the shoe or whatever, and I would just go buy it directly from the original brand or another company that was also selling those items. So I got to get what I wanted, but I didn't have to put money into Doll's Kill. And I think if you're on the fence about this, then you need to try to find those alternatives. Personally, again, I'm not your keeper, but I just think that there's really no excuse to keep giving bad people your money and allowing people like this to thrive in any shape, way, or form. Because, again, I think, especially this brand, there's nothing about it that excites me. There's nothing about it that I look at it and go, I could never find something this unique ever again in my life, and I'm gonna have to buy it from this store, even though I know it's a piece of shit store. There's just nothing in there, even if I could fit in it, that is that irresistible to me. So that's where I'm at with it. Again, if you choose to continue to purchase from this company, I'm not going to lie, if I found out about it and you were my friend, I would side eye you. I would confront you. We'd probably have the argument of, well, do you shop at Amazon or Fashion Nova or ASOS or wherever? Well, yes, but I also find them slightly less shitty in their ethics, and they're not just inherently sexist, racist, or anti-Semitic that I'm aware of. People could get in the comments and tell me a bunch of stuff that I'm not aware of, and then I would not have anywhere to shop online. But I digress. So that pretty much wraps it up for me in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you ever shopped with this brand? How did it make you feel? Please remember to be kind in the comments to anyone you might be talking to down there. Let me know what you might want to see in the future. I am Expired Tea, and I will talk to you later. Bye!